Peace, y'all. How's everybody doing, all right? Thanks for coming out, showing some love. Word up. Come on.
Is there anything you want to, just to test the microphone, make sure that it's,
Nah, I think we good, man. It sounds good. It sounds good. Word up.
Good, do a little something.
I'm here, man. You know, I like rhyming, man. You know that? Yeah. That's good. Hey, listen, bro, it's your show, man. I'm here. I'm glad to be here.
Do people want to hear Rakim do a rhyme?
Oh, what you want to hear, bro? Or should I ask the crowd? What would y'all like to hear? Move the crowd.
Move the crowd. Good choice. Good choice.
Freestyle. Lyrics of fury.
freestyle.
Technique.
I always love Paid in Full.
Paid in Full.
That joint.
That's a good choice.
I remember being a teenager and listening to that, and it just destroyed me. It's so visual. It's so deep. What you think about that?
Share show, man. I think they're gonna help me out on this one, alright?
Alright.
We gonna do it a little laid back though. I was sitting in the room one day, man, and the beat started playing, and we already knew what the name of the song was, Paid in Full. But I'm sitting there and it's like, I'm trying to come up with a concept to tell everybody to get paid in full and get that paper. But at the same time with a message, you know what I mean? So the first thing that I can, come up with or just digging in the bag to try to see how I could start this song out. And, the words came out. Thinking of a master plan. This ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. So I dig into my pocket. My money is spent. I dig deeper. Still coming up with lint. So I start my mission. Leave my residence. Thinking how could I get some dead presidents? I need money. I used to be a stick-up kid. So I think all the devious things I did. I used to roll up. This is a whole up. Nothing funny. Stop smiling. Be still don't nothing move but the money. But now I learn to earn cause I'm righteous. I feel great, so maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5. Cause if I strive, then maybe I'll stay alive. So I walk up the street, whistling this, feeling at a place, cause man do I miss a pen and a paper, a stereo, a taper. Me and Eric being a nice big plate of fish, which was my favorite dish. But without no money, it's still a wish. Cause I don't like to dream about getting paid. So I dig into the books of the rhymes that I made. So now it's a test to see if I got pulled. Hit the studio, cause I'm paid in full. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. Thank you.
It's an interesting song, incredibly visual. It's like a poem. It's like a little movie, but it's like a freestyle in that there's no hook, there's no chorus. It's one verse that just goes on and on. How did it come to be that you just lay one verse, no hook, no chorus, no second verse, and everybody said, nah, just leave it there?
Yeah, it's funny. The first album, me and Eric B, we was rookies in the studio. There was no format. Nobody handed you a pamphlet when you got to the door and went in. So we was basically going to the studio and doing what we felt was hip hop, good music. The Paid in Full song was something that I always liked to rhyme. I love rhyming off the Dennis Edwards original track back in the day in a park. So me and Eric B was vibing on it. He was like, what we looking for? So when I pulled that out, I was like, this bass line right here is crazy. I love this right here. So we started vibing on it, put the track together. And then as I was writing the rhyme, I wrote the first verse and laid it down. And when I came out the booth, just to check it, listen to it, go back and, write the second verse. Once I came out the booth and we played it back, everybody was like, nah, that's it, you ain't got, I said, nah, man, you gotta do at least another, nah, that's it, don't touch it, that's it. I'm like, yo, that's it, don't touch it. And Allah bless the dead, one of Eric B's brothers, and Live, You know, I kind of use him as like my A&R. You know, he good cat, good judgment of music. So I looked at Ant, I was like, yo, Ant, man, you sure? He said, right, it's good, it's good. So, you know, we was just, you know, in there, man, you know, we was young at it. We was, you know, just trying to put together good music and hopefully it resonate with the people.
It's interesting that you listen to them there because in that early period, you're doing these rhymes. Your style is very laid back, right? You're sitting to record a lot of these. A lot of guys are standing. They're very rah-rah. They're very especially in the early days, it was very And when you were first doing it, right, you're like laid back and people, even Marley Mal was like, amp up, son, like you put me to sleep. And you were like, no, this is who I am.
Word up. Went to Queensbridge to record Eric B as president. I think it was a melody first, then Eric B as president. But get to Marley house and you know, I'm young, I'm 17, you know, thinking I know everything, but knowing that I know nothing. But don't ask me nothing about the mic, I got that. Anything else, you know what I mean? So we get in there, you know, Marley did the track over for us, the track is bumping. You know, Marley's feeling it, he's standing up, he DJing. I'm sitting there, you know, looking at him like, yeah, all right, I'm at Marley crib, this is real. Looking out the window, you know, Queensbridge, like, yeah, this is real. My time to do my thing. He set the mic stand up, boom, boom, was like, right here. So, you know, it was right in his living room. So I was like, all right, I stood up, snatched the mic off the stand and sat back down. So Marley turned around and looked at Eric B. Sat there, the track came on, and I started rhyming. What confused Marley is he liked what I was saying, but I guess, you know, I wasn't standing up and I wasn't like you said, rah, rah, rah. So, you know, he's looking, he looked at Eric B, looked back at me. You know, I'm looking at him now like, yo, what's the problem, man? What's the problem, man? You looking too much, man. What's going on, man? But, you know, he was like, yo, you know, I like what you're doing, but if you could stand up, put a little more energy in it, you know. So I looked at him, I'm like, you know, I could stand up, but it ain't gonna be no more energy in it. I mean, I could stand up, it's gonna come out the same way, bro. I said, but if you want me to stand up, I'll stand up. So I looked at him, he looked at Eric B. Eric B looked at him. You know, Eric B, he just met me as well, so he couldn't tell me too much, you know what I mean? But did it a couple times. So maybe about an hour later, MC Shan knocks at the door. So you know, 17, I'm bugging now. I'm like, oh, the bridge, you know, Queensbridge, I'm here, baby. MC Shan, what's good? He was like, yo, God, what's good? Boom, boom, boom. Marley plays the track. Marley said, yo, I'm gonna step out for a minute. I'm gonna let Shan, you know, engineer. He's just gonna record the last set of vocals. So Shan goes out and talks to Marley in the kitchen. So I already know what they talking about. So Shan comes back in, he's moving a little slower. So I look at him like, oh boy, here we go. Shan was like, yo, Lord, do me a favor, man. Why don't you stand up on this one? I said, yo, Shan, we just went through this, man, 10, 15 times, man. I could stand up here, I could stand on the couch. I could stand anywhere in here. It's gonna sound the same, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, man. But we finally got through the session, and you know, at the end of the session, Marley was like, yo, you know, I like the song, but you know, it could have a little more energy in it, but you know, I like the song. So at this point, I'm sitting there like, I shouldn't even came out here. You know what I mean? When you know, artists, you know, when you show somebody your work, you real, you know, funny about that. And if people, you know, if there's any kind of, you know, withdrawal or anything, you feel a way about that. I just showed you my work, bro. And regardless, like, I'm not feeling the way you feeling about my work. You know what I mean? But, you know, he said it was all right. He needed a little more energy. So, you know, came back, we did the melody. No, excuse me, Eric B is president. So he figured, you know, funky president, come on, boom, boom, boom. He's like, yeah, he gonna get up and rhyme off of this one. He's like, yo, Marley, let me get the mic, man. He was like, come on, man. I said, yo, Jay, come on, man. He's like, yo, we gonna move this couch out of here, man. You gotta sit. But anyway, I stood up on that one, but it was still, rock. And what was crazy is a couple weeks later after the record came out, we did a show together. And I just remember getting out in the car, and this is my first time seeing Shannon and Marley again. So I remember getting out the car and walking towards the door, and they standing outside the door. Allah bless the dead, Fly Tie as well. So I'm walking over there, I'm like, yeah, let me see what they gonna say now. So I get over to him, and I just look at Marley, and he smiled. He's like, I get it now, man. I get it now, man. I'm like, yo, that's what I was trying to tell you back at the crib, man. I like the way that sound. I kind of felt that it was gonna work like that. He was like, yo, I see what you're doing now, you know what I mean? But it was a real important lesson to me, because, like I said, I was 17. And, it's overwhelming to be in, I love Marley Mal, Mr. Magic. I was a fan of hip hop. But to be in this house was overwhelming. But when it came to my art and my craft, I don't care, how long you been doing whatever and how many nights you on the radio, bro. You wasn't with me when I was writing this. You know what I mean? And that's the way I wrote it, and that's the way I felt it was supposed to go. So, big up to Marley Mal. Hold on.
Well, let's dig into that point that you were driving at in the last couple sentences, because you are one of the genius songwriters of hip-hop history, of music history in general. So, how do you write a song?
Actually, to this day, I still don't know, man. You know what I mean? You sit down with the notebook, and you hope you gonna, come up with something dope, man. Writing rhymes is one of them things, it's not physical where, it becomes mechanic. Do this, do that, and then a couple minutes later you done. You never know what to expect when you sit down to write, or I don't. Sometimes the music is telling me one thing. I hear what I feel I should do with it, but then there's a universal understanding of what I should be doing with the record. So I fight with that a lot, you know what I mean? I'm kind of, I wouldn't say biased, but, I just, whenever I hear a track, sometimes I don't care what's going on in the street at the time. I just do what I feel, I'm supposed to do, man. But, writing is, it's always been a crazy road for me, man. I try to, I don't know, like the young lady was speaking on earlier, I always try to meditate to get somewhere, you know what I mean? I try to tap in, I believe it's the infinite source of knowledge, and always, try to tap into it, man, and draw stuff from it, ideas, what's going on in the world, what people are thinking for the most part, man. But, it's something that you can never really pinpoint.
I know when I'm writing and moving through the different stages of it, first draft, second draft, editing, what have you, there's different voices that come to me. When I'm doing the first draft, it's like...
Man, you don't want to hear about the voices, man. You don't want to hear about the voices, man. I mean, sitting in a room, and, I always call my form of writing, I always felt that I use a form of meditation, man. So sitting in there trying to see what the track was asking me to do, and, tap into that, source. You sit there, you hear yourself thinking, you hear ideas, you hear people talking to you. In my case, my mother and father, I mean, anybody or anything that influenced you when you sit back trying to draw, inspiration from, the world, you'll hear people trying to tell you things. Hopefully most of it's good, and of course you got that devil on your shoulder too, trying to distort your thought or take you off course of what you're trying to do, especially if you're trying to do something good. But myself, man, I always felt that I use my ancestors to help me write. You know what I mean? I don't think that I, did it all by myself. A lot of things that I spoke about on my record, sometimes I would have to go research myself after I finished. Like, hold up, Rod, you gotta make sure this is correct before, you know what I mean? Because you vibing and things is coming to you. And you want to be informal, and you want to try to push the envelope, and so just things from nowhere is coming to you. And sometimes, I would have to double check, go back to the house, and look through my lessons, or and what's crazy is kids got the internet now. You could Google anything. If I had to Google when I was writing rhymes, I would have been that much better, man. I mean, sheesh. But, back then, there wasn't no Google, man, internet and all that. We had to research, and if you didn't have the literature, I had a stat about this high literature, so if I couldn't find it in that, it was off to school, you pick a teacher's brain, or you go to the library, man.
But you have that voice that's pushing you to go harder and make it better. And
all the time, all the time. I mean,
harshest critic is in your head.
Oh, no doubt. And sometimes it's hard to shut them up too, you know what I mean? Sometimes I could be, sitting, a little beat to come on, or sometimes, no beat at all. And, how could I say it? Like, I grab and record ideas and thoughts and words all day. I mean, it ain't a time of the day that I can, like, hang the cap down, you know what I mean? It's like I might be driving and see a sign in the street, and automatically my mind will take the phrase, run through it, expand it, break it down, and you know what I mean, to the point where it's like, okay, I can use something from that, or it's like, that's nothing. I just, went through the whole, but that's what it is. And I explain to my sons, because they like writing too, and I tell them, you don't want to do this, man. You don't want to do this. This is all day. Like, you see what I do. You talk to me sometimes. I'm there, but I'm not there, because I got something, a voice repeating these 4 words in my head. Bang, 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 bang. My son is saying, so Dad, bang, bang, huh? Bang, bang, bang. What you say? Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, we got it. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, chill. You just tell yourself, all right, bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? And that's some of the voices, man. It's like sometimes when you catch on to something, or you might be trying to figure out a phrase or put a rhyme pattern together, and once you get it, it's like a loop. It don't stop playing, man. And you gotta, literally tell yourself, let me get out of that thought for a minute, so you can, you know what I mean? But the music and they're trying to figure out different techniques and different styles that don't stop.
When you were growing up, you played the saxophone, and one of your favorite artists in the world was John Coltrane. And you learned a lot about emceeing from John Coltrane.
Yes,
Break that down.
Word up, man. Long story. My mom sang. My oldest brother played piano.
And you say that you got your talent from your mom.
Oh, no doubt.
She gave you the G.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, we can clap it up for Cynthia.
Yeah, I did, no doubt. Peace and love. My mom's was she had the talent in the family. My pops, he just knew what to play. My pops, come on to teach.
And she went to school for it. She wasn't just...
No doubt. She sang everything from jazz to opera. She went to school and mastered her trade, and she was good, man. And from that, came us. And I watched my brother pick up on it. He played the piano, and then eventually was able to play all instruments. He reads music, writes music. So watching my mother, then watching him, then watching my sister sing all day, then watching my other brother pick up the saxophone. I'm sitting around in the house. And I'm only like 4 or 5 years old, but I'm thinking I'm supposed to have an instrument too. Everybody else got something, you know what I mean? But, I was in the sports, so, I thought I was supposed to be doing that as well. So, playing football, baseball, basketball, and all that. But you get home and music's playing. You know what I mean? You get home, sometimes my brother's practicing. I get home, sometimes my sisters are singing. And, you know, even, you know, having company over, my mom's is singing. They downstairs playing the organ and the piano, and everybody's having a good time. But, you know, being around that, man, and seeing that, and, you know, knowing what my mom's instilled in me, I knew that eventually, you know, music was going to play a part of my life. Not knowing how, but just knowing I loved it, and my whole family was, you know, musically gifted. So I figured, you know, I might have to kind of, you know, get a little more serious about music. But I had no idea that, you know, it was going to take place like it did.
And then you start listening to Coltrane as a young guy.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you know, listening to the jazz in the house was always, you know, good. But I remember one day when I first heard a John Coltrane song, and, you know, my mom's played a lot of jazz, but there's something about the way, you know, this song resonated with me. You know, being young, listening to jazz, you kind of wait for them to play the cool jazz, because, you know, you don't understand all the you know, Take Five and A Train and all that at a young age. But you just waiting for them to play, you know, something that just had a little bang in it. And she played this John Coltrane song one day, and it grabbed my attention enough for me to ask, who is that? She was like, that's Coltrane. So for the next 3 months, it was Coltrane. He ain't had no first name. Yeah, I didn't even know if that was his last first name. It was his Coltrane. I heard Coltrane. But I heard that, and it just started, you know, sticking with me. Whenever I heard a, you know, sax song after that, I asked my mom, so my pop, is that Coltrane? No, that ain't Coltrane. Got a little older and started dabbling into, you know, what he was doing. And again, my older brother played saxophone. So I picked up the sax, was playing sax in school. So the Coltrane, you know, really started resonating with me a lot more once I, you know, knew how to play and, you know, was familiar with, you know, the instrument that he was using. But one day, me and my brother, the sax player, we was listening to a Coltrane song called My Favorite Things. And he beating it, man. He beating it. It's like he just taking the sax and banging it up against the wall. It's like non-stop. But then he gets to this point where he plays 2 notes in one time. And being a saxophone player, I know that's impossible. You gotta, you know, you gotta hit a key with your finger to change the note. And listen to the song. Me and my brother looked at each other like, well, we wasn't playing it right, bro. We wasn't experimenting enough, you know what I mean? But like we knew right away, like, did we just hear that? Pull the record back, play it again, pull the record back. And you know, that did it for me, because it was like, yo, this cat is not only, you know, incredible, but for him to just try different things and to take something where you get so good on the sax, it gets limited because there's only a few notes on there. Brother like John Coltrane said, listen, man, I'm gonna make some more notes on there. And that's the difference between, you know, just taking what they give you to work with and trying to push the envelope and trying to come up with something else. You know, if they give you, you know, a rap song and, you know, sounds like it's just bang, 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 bang. To me, I'm hearing everybody else says bang, bang, bang. I'm on some because now I can put more words in my, you know, my style, and it don't have to be and the blunts and the blunts and the blunts. I can actually and all that came from listening to Coltrane. He was able to manipulate sounds and rhythms in a small amount of time.
So, do you plan when? So, the rhythmic relationship that you talk about there is super important. So, do you plan when to pause? Is that something that you write when you write in the words?
Nah, sometimes, yeah, you know, if you feel in a certain rhythm, sometimes, you know, as I'm listening to music, I might pick up on the rhythm and put the words in. sometimes the words will make the rhythm, you know what I mean? But a pause to me is like, it I don't know, man. Like, to me, the pause was just as important as the words, because you can be picking up on a rhyme and pause on it for a minute. It's just like, and then you jump right back on it. It's also creating, you know, a rhythm or a rhyme pattern. So once I started realizing how to place words in different points of the measure to make it sound crazy. Like, for instance, you could say a 4-syllable word at the end of a bar, but if you say it somewhere in between where it's not as common to hear, it makes it just sound a little more better, man. It just puts a little more, you know, rhythm or a little more of the style on it. And once I started realizing that, then of course I started not only, you know, placing pauses in my rhymes, but I would put a pen mark in between my words to know, like, yeah, pause right there. You know, give them a minute right there. Or sometimes just, you know, I would write my rhymes so close together, my words, that I would have to put a dot on the paper also when I could take a breath. So then my pauses started becoming my breath. And, you know, I just learned how to, you know, manipulate it if I had to, because, you know, sometimes you put a lot of words, or I used to trap. I used to always say, well, they used to say, Rod, you trapping yourself again, because I put so many words in the pattern. If I miss that breathe point, then, you know, I can't finish the verse. And I'm like, yo, Rod, come on, man, you making it too. So listen, man, if I can't say it like this, I'm not gonna say it, man. So it just made sense, and it just gave my rhyme, you know, a little more identity.
That's all the words past the margin. But now, sometimes you write backwards.
Wasn't supposed to tell nobody that, man. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes, you know, you write in a book, you want to put that important, but yeah, man, I kind of, one day, it's funny, man, I don't believe in writer's block, but it do exist. It do exist, but I refuse to believe in it, you know what I mean? But one day, I had to write a song in like 2 days. The deadline was coming up quick, and I kind of waited to get on the song. So I'm looking at like maybe a day and a half to finish the song, and I usually like to take maybe 3 days maybe 4 days on a project like I was doing. But I had to hurry up the song, so I'm sitting there, and it's like, you know, one of them days, you stare at the wall, stare at the ceiling for a while, and start staring around, and nothing, you know, ain't nothing popping off, so, you know. Then all of a sudden my manager pops up, and it's like, oh shit, I was about to take a break and shit, try to go break the monotony. The manager pops up, knock on the door, so yeah, I'm back downstairs, I'm working hard, man. So he walks by, he looks at my paper, ain't nothing on it. But I'm sitting there like, I got some shit over here, man. I got some shit, nothing. So he walking by, and he trying to be cool, but every time he passed me, I could just feel his head looking over my shoulder at the notebook. So, you know, I said, all right. I said, yo, man, give me about an hour, man, about 2 hours, but go that away. I don't like nobody. Yeah, you know what I mean? I can't think with you pacing behind me.
You want to be alone when you write.
Be alone, nobody in the room. Hold up. But so Matt walks out, and the real reason why I wanted him to walk out is so that he didn't see that I was about to write a rhyme from the end of the song to the beginning of the song. And that's a little trick that I came up with, like whenever I get writer's block. But I guess knowing how I'm gonna finish a verse, you know, the hook might be on the song, and all I have to do is say something, you know, pertaining to the hook. So I know what I'm gonna say at the end of the rhyme. It's easy to always think, I'm gonna break the rhyme down like this, because then the hook come in like this. So I start with that, bang, and work my way all the way back to the beginning of the song, trying to hide that the top of the paper's empty and the bottom, you know what I mean? Because my manager's walking in, so I'm hiding my paper. You know, man, a couple more hours, bro. I'm gonna need a little more time for this shit. He's picking over me and shit. So one day he came in, I spun off and forgot that I was hiding my notebook. He came in and he was like, "What are you writing, from the bottom of this?" I said, "Oh, hold up, bro," you know what I mean? But it was something that I used to feel a way about, because I knew I used to feel I was cheating when I did that. So, you know, I ain't want nobody to see that shit. Until one day I was watching TV, I seen my man, I think it was Francis the Coppola, and he was talking about The Godfather, and he said, if you want to write a good movie, you start from the end. So after I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, that's why I was doing that. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? But it made me feel a little better. It put a little, you know, a little method to the madness, man. But I've been doing that shit for a while too, and you know, it's funny and shit, because when I do it, once I finish it, you can't tell that I started from the back, you know, all the way to the front and shit. But it's, you know, a little secret that me and my manager know now, you know, the secret's out. So anybody in this room let that out, we got a problem, man.
Just between us.
It's between us, keep that here.
I mean, from the beginning of your career, the level of rhyme writing and rhyme saying has been at the elite level, the most elite level. What drives you?
I think just trying to make good music, man. I love what I do, and you know, once you win it, man, it's like, you know, it's always a competition. It's always a competition. But I just love pushing the envelope and seeing, you know, what I can do, man. And you know, sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I shoot for this, I get this, but I love shooting for this. You know what I mean? Anything in here is okay. Sometimes I hit that, you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't, but you know, I just love trying to, you know, push the envelope.
When did you hit that? What's your best rhyme?
So that's a good question. It's actually certain songs that I did. Like there's one I did, "Who Is God," and it's something I always wanted to do. Didn't quite know how to do it, knowing if I did a song like that, it was going to be too much information, rather than, you know, what they want, the party information. But I always wanted to, you know, try to do a song like that. One day, this brother came with a track, gave me the track, and I was done with the album. But we had a little more time. I could have, you know, done a couple more, but I don't like to rush nothing. So I figured, look, I'm done. So this brother came with a track, and it you know, if y'all heard the track, as soon as I heard it, that's the first, I'm like, oh, this is the track, I can do that off, you know what I mean? So I called up the label and said, yo, how many more days I got before I got to turn everything in? It was like, oh, maybe 2-3 days. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do that with that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to do that song, because I know I was going to, you know, want to put some information in it and not rush it. But just driving home and listening to the track, I was like, yo, I got to try. And what was crazy is I wasn't home at the time. I was staying in a hotel. And I get back at the hotel, take the song in the hotel, put the song on, start playing it, and found myself in the master bedroom part of the hotel, laying on the floor, writing that shit. And I remember, man, when I got up, you know, it may have been like 8 hours later, but when I got up, I went back to the beginning of the song and started reading it, because it just kind of, you know, just kind of went from, you know, the beginning to the end like that. But when I went back to the beginning and started reading it back, you know, you sometimes when you know you did something right, you just get that feeling. And I started reading the beginning of it, and I was like, yo, this is it. This is it, you know what I mean? And of course, I had to research it. I had to make sure, what I was saying was understanding. But things like that, man, is the songs that, songs that push me. And when I get to a certain point, I can look back and say, yeah, that one was dope. Juice was another joint. Mahogany. You know what I mean? That song there was I took a page out of Slick Rick book, trying to tell a story, man. But that's just that old school trying to tell a story and then involving, a dope scenery and a dope lady with a dope name and you know what I mean, just trying to paint that picture. But I remember starting that song not knowing what I was gonna do with it, but I just loved the Al Green. And it just kind of, and it's funny, Diana Ross, I always loved Lady Sing the Blues back in the day, and Mahogany, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good time to use that right here, you know what I mean? So Diana Ross, big ups, because, she inspired that song, word up.
What is it in you that has led to your success? What is the quality or the attitude inside you that has driven, pushed, and created this?
I think, all the people that ever told me I couldn't do something. You know what I mean? And then getting into the business and becoming somewhat successful, you drop a good album and then, then some people still saying, well, you can't do it again. You know what I mean? And then you get a little older and times change and then they say, you definitely can't do it now. You know what I mean? And all of that, I take all that and use it as inspiration, man. I actually love when people tell me I can't do something, because that'll bring the fire out, man. The other day, I had bought something from the store, and I brought it home, and I bust the box open, and the screws just popped out everywhere. My wife said, you can't do that. 2 hours later, I was like, yeah, I don't ever say I can't do something, man. So, I mean, and
now your wife knows how to get you to do anything.
Oh yeah, but yeah. You know what I mean?
You can't mow the lawn. You can't do these dishes.
You know what I mean? I'll fall for it. You can't tell me I can't do something, man. Word up. Dishes, vacuuming. Listen, I'll fall for anything. Tell me I can't do it. Word up.
What's your superpower?
Well, as far as music, just the love for music, man. And then I think I got, I don't know, man, just always, trying to push myself, trying to, make something to impress myself and impress the listeners. Like, it was just always, striving for, I don't know if you want to call it perfection or greatness. I just love to kind of, do that thing that people hear, and it's like, oh, yo, like, you know what I mean? That's like the best, feeling you get from anything, when somebody, see it or just the response from it. And I guess I just always wanted the next response and the next response and the next response.
So, was it in the 90s when you went to LA to record an album with Dr. Dre?
Nah, it was 2000, around 2001, 2002.
And now the folks have not heard it because it never came out. Why did your album with Dr. Dre never get finished and not come out?
Well, me and Dre, we had two different ideas of how the album was supposed to sound. Dre at the time, his formula, I guess, was, the gangster rap. And I guess, I don't know, man, listening to, certain songs that I did or listening to stories, I guess he wanted me to do that, a gangster rap album, I guess, you know what I mean? And, that's his formula, you know what I mean? But, I thought at that point, I should be doing something different. You know, I was, you know, maturing at the time, you know, growing up a little bit in 2003, you know what I mean? Trying to elevate with your music as well. And, you know, I'm looking at it like, yeah, getting with Dre, I wanted to make a mega project that wasn't, you know, of course it's hip hop, but, you know, I wanted everybody to be able to listen to it, you know, getting this opportunity. You know, I wanted to make the best of it, but, you know, like I said, Dre, you know, we would sit in the studio and Dre, you know, he'd put on a beat, he'd sit next to me and be like, yo, I want you to talk that shit on this one. Like, Dre, that's what you say on every track you play, bro. Like, when you gonna let me rhyme on something? Well, I gotta, you know, beef with everybody that, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's, like I said, that was his formula, man. And, you know, to him, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. But, you know, I was looking to try to, you know, do a dope album and make sure that it, you know, your daughter can listen to it. You know, my grandmother can listen to it, and there was no bars or anything, man. But, you know, again, man, you know, we had a different view. We tried some things, did a couple dope joints, but once we realized, and you know, after him trying to push me to talk crap on every song, and me, you know, being rebellious, I guess he realized like, yo, this, you know, it ain't gonna work. But you know, actually, I'm the one that told Dre like, yo, I appreciate the opportunity and everything, but I'm going back to New York, bro. You know what I mean? You know, it ain't gonna happen like this. And the first time I told him, he was like, yo, you know, give me a couple more weeks, I'm gonna try to work on something. And, you know, I stayed out there another month. And then after that, it was like, yo, man, listen, man, you know, again, man, I appreciate it, you know. I learned a lot, man, you know, thanks for the opportunity, but I got to get back to New York, man. And, you know, I don't fly, so it was a long ride home, man. You know what I mean? You sitting there, you asking yourself, did I just do the right thing? I just told Trey that I'm, you know what I mean? But I had no idea what I was gonna do. You know what I mean? Came all the way home. A lot to think about, but as soon as I got home and sat in my studio, you know, I had a little BS studio too. It was just sampler, turntables, microphone, you know what I mean? But it was my studio. I got home and, you know, sat down there and I looked around, you know, knowing that I had to do something. And the first thing I realized is that I didn't have a studio. So I grabbed my brother and we went down to Manny's Manhattan. And I went in there and bought a whole studio, man. And got it back at the house, set it up, and, you know, and then the rest of my book started from that day, man. But I've been, you know, just focused and trying to, you know, do my thing ever since that point.
You know, it's one curious thing to me about you not flying as a rule. Your dad was an airplane mechanic.
Yes, sir.
Who could fix anything, but he fixed planes.
Planes, well,
so you know what the inside of a plane looks like, how it's supposed to function, and how the guys who work on it are.
Yeah,
I think
that's what did it to me, man. But you know what I mean, like, you know, I used to go to work with my pops, and you know, my pops was the man. You know, I'm glad to say he was the man at work. They used to come in, Mr. Griffin, I can't get the such and such off. You know, to me, I'm a little dude that sound, I can't get the defibrillator off. He's like, yo, grab this, get this right here. You get this, grab this, come on with me. So we go out now, you know, I'm keeping up, trying to follow him out there. We go out there to the joint. The plane is opened up, I guess the hood. You know what I mean? So, you know, little kid, I'm coming up on it like, you know, I'm in awe. All you see is, you know, screws, and buttons, and like just shit that don't even look like it's supposed to be on something that's moving at that speed. So, you know what I mean? But I'm looking up. My father was like, yo, give me this. You gotta take this off before you can do that. And this and that, you gotta grab this. Give me this. Screwdrivers is like this big. Screwdriver. Stay updated. at the time not knowing, but I'm just, I'm in awe. I'm looking like, but what was messing me up is that my pops knew how to fix that. My pops he was a mechanic on, he started on cars, went up to trucks, 18-wheelers. I stayed working with my pops. I was like, Dad, can I go to work with, buy some doors thing? But then, the plane thing was just like, but then as I got older, it started playing little tricks. You sitting in the back of the plane and get a little turbulence. Drink is, and then you remember when they used to open up the hood and you used to look up and they used to be like, I don't know how to get the whistle name off. The defibrillator, bro, it's right there, man. You gotta take you start thinking about that and you realize there's a lot of room for error. There's a lot of room for error, man. And I think that kind of, you're right, man. You can get there. It's gonna take a little more time. You can get there. You ain't got to do it like this all the time. All right.
You told me a lot of incredible old school stories, and one of the best of those was when you were on tour with LL, and y'all end up slapboxing. How did that happen? And who won?
Now, L gonna be mad at me next time I see him. We probably gonna have to fight again. Well, like me and L, he took me out on I think it was 1987. I think it was a Dope Jam tour, and we used to have a lot of fun. We used to play basketball in between shows and all that. They used to have courts set up in the arena. So if we wasn't playing basketball, we was doing something, competitive. So it's a lot of, just maybe second week of the tour, a lot of everybody testosterone and everybody kind of getting, a little tired of everybody at this point. 2 weeks in, the way people chew, you know what I mean? The way everything was just like, so, we played some ball that day, and I'm kind of nice. I was kind of nice. So we did our thing on the court, and for some reason, we standing around, and the next thing is like, people standing around. It's like everybody throwing jabs now. Yo, Rob, you and LL slap box. So L sitting there like, you know what I mean? I'm this big, so I was like, yeah, come on. I'm like, come on, man. So my man was like, Rob, nobody say nothing. My man said, Rob, if you can snatch LL's hat off, I'm gonna give you $1,000.
The younger folks may not know. The hat never ever
took his hat off back in the day.
Now we do NCIS and the hat is all back
all
in the
the
day.
time.
Never. The dome was always.
And how we will, you see L in the pool with the Kango on flipped up. It's like, all right, but you chilling, so you can't, you know what I mean? You in the pool, you got the Kango on. But then my man on the road, Sonny, he used to cut our hair. So L comes in for a haircut one day. L was gonna kill me for this shit. L needed a haircut. So my man Sonny was like, yeah, no problem, I'll hook you up. You want me to come to your room? You come to mine, whatever, boom. So I think L came to our room. But he kept the Kango on and flipped it up in the back and was like, nah, just give me a line back here. So we knew the hat did not come off at that point. We knew it didn't come off, like even for a haircut. Nah, just flip. L gonna kill me, word up. So he got the line and shit and like around the ear. So like a couple days after that, we playing ball. So it was like, Rob, man, give you a G, you snatch the hat off. I did my ball thing and I was kind of nice with the hands too, you know what I mean? So me and L set up, we rocking. So L swinging hard as crap. Ducking under like, yo, L, man, listen, man, and your hands is closed? Like, what are you doing, man? He was like, nah, that's just the way. So I'm like, all right. So we rocking. He's swinging him, ducking up under him, smacking him in the ribs, hitting him in the, you know, he tall. So I'm trying to get the hat off, trying to figure out how I can get up top, right? So, you know, I used to know half the deck of 52. They look boxing style back in the day. So the first thing I did is reach down and untie the sneakers. He got mad as hell. He was like, oh, you doing that? Like, nah, G, you know, just shot. So we set back up, he swing. I duck up on it, smack him in the back of his knee, buckle him a little bit. So I'm like, all right, if I can get him in the back of the knee, buckle him again, I'll get the hat off. So L get mad now. He's coming at me all fast, throwing hard. So I'm getting mad now. So I reached up, popped him, bang, and grabbed the hat, but it just went like that on his head. So he was like, oh, you trying to take my hat off? I was like, nah, man, I'm trying, you know, it's 52. I was gonna take the hat and get it back to you. He's like, no, you trying to take my hat off, right? So, you know, it was serious, man. But yo, we used to have a ball, man, and word up, you know, L, you know, again, I learned a lot from him too, man. I was a young cat. He took me out on like the biggest tour that was going on in the United States at that time. So, you know, it was a dope experience, man.